Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today to film my review for the Book Naturalist Book Club pick for the month of October. I apologize for my raspy sounding voice and the lateness of this video. I had meant to film it a few days ago, but I have been sick with a cold, as you can hear, and have not been feeling quite up to snuff, so I still have a little bit of residual hoarseness, but I am feeling slightly better. So here we go. We're just going to do this. So we read Lab Girl by Hope Jahren for the month of October for the Book Naturalist Book Club, and this is one of my, probably the best nature memoir that I have ever read. This is my favorite of that genre. And I was so happy to come back to this one to reread it. This is the story of Hope Jaren's life, her growing up in the upper Midwest of the United States to Scandinavian parents who had moved to the United States. So she sort of gives us a little bit of background into her childhood. Her dad was a physics professor, I believe, and so she spent a lot of time in his lab learning how to use the lab equipment, and really got a lot of joy out of being in the lab with her dad. And then this also talks about her going to school, going to college, what she experienced as a woman trying to make it in the science field, and then on to starting her own lab, her first lab after getting her PhD. She studies soil science and plant biology and things having to do with climate change. And she is a very interesting person. So Hope Jahren is probably, I think she's a few years older than me, but in the same generation as I am. And so a lot of what she experienced in her academic years and in her early career were very reflective of my own experiences. And so I always enjoy reading about women in the sciences and how society viewed women who wanted to pursue that particular field, because I was a person who tried to go in that route as well, although I am not a theoretical scientist. I didn't work in the laboratory or anything like that, but I did pursue science as a career, and so I do have some similarities there. Also, I just think Hope Jahren is very funny, and the way that she writes her own story, she writes it with a lot of humor, and she's very quirky. She has experienced throughout her life some severe mental health problems, and she is very honest about those and how those have impacted her life. And the other big thing about her life that's probably not mainstream is her very close relationship with a man named Bill. Bill is not a romantic partner. He is not her husband. He is her partner in science. And they are sort of soulmates in that way, in that they think very similarly. They complement each other in terms of their skill sets, and they have worked together since they were both students to pursue science and to pursue knowledge. And there's very few stories out there about friendship between a man and a woman that doesn't end up in some kind of a romance. And so I very much appreciate that aspect of her life story, the fact that she, values this friendship, she cherishes it, but yet they are not, like, she doesn't apologize for it either. And she does end up getting married and having a family, and Bill is sort of like just a part of that family as her best friend. And it's just lovely to read about a real life male-female friendship that is that important to somebody's life. So yeah, this is just excellent. I'll just read you a little section right from the beginning because I think her voice is very strong. This is right from the prologue, the very beginning of the book. People love the ocean. People are always asking me why I don't study the ocean because, after all, I live in Hawaii. I tell them that it's because the ocean is a lonely, empty place. There is 600 times more life on land than there is in the ocean, and this fact mostly comes down to plants. The average ocean plant is one cell that lives for about 20 days. The average land plant is a 2-ton tree that lives for more than 100 years. The mass ratio of plants to animals in the ocean is close to 4, while the ratio on land is closer to 1,000. Plant numbers are staggering. There are 80 billion trees just within the protected forests of the western United States. The ratio of trees to people in America is well over 200. As a rule, people live among plants, but they don't really see them. Since I've discovered those numbers, I can see little else. So you can tell right from that first paragraph, her love of plants and trees, and that shines through in the work that she does in the lab and in her research. And it's just fabulous. The way that she weaves in talking about science with talking about her life, I really think is so well done. It's, like I said, it's the best nature memoir that I've ever read in that way, in melding a person's story and the science, and making both sides equally interesting. Because usually what happens is one side is more interesting than the other. And for me, this was a perfect balance. Also, the humor is essential to making a memoir really stick for me. It's funny, it's poignant, it brought me to tears in various places. So yeah, it hits all the emotional buttons as well. So absolutely love Lab Girl. If you have not yet read it, please do try it out. It's so fantastic. And for November, for our book club pick, we are going to be reading Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teaching of Plants by Robin Wall Kimmerer. This is, Robin Wall Kimmerer is an Indigenous scientist. And so we chose to read this one in November because November is Indigenous Heritage Month. So as you can see from the tabs, I have previously read this. In fact, I think this will be my 4th time reading this nonfiction. I absolutely love this book. So I expect to love it again upon this reread. I don't know that I could ever not love this book. It's so good. Robin Wall Kimmerer is a fabulous, fabulous person and author. So that's what we'll be reading for November. I hope that you will be able to join us. If you did read Lab Girl either this past month or sometime previously, please let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. And I hope you're all doing well and finding some great books to read. I'll talk to you later.